Guys, today we are going to discuss the NEET previous year paper 2021. Okay, yeah. What are the questions coming from that paper? First question: the partial pressure of oxygen, which is carbon dioxide, at the alveoli, the site of diffusion, the diffusion site where alveoli and the blood. Okay, yeah. What are the ratio of this carbon dioxide, oxygen and carbon dioxide? Okay, just look into this. Oxygen produced in the atmosphere where it is produced, the partial pressure is high, mean it is 159 mmHg, and if the oxygen where it is produced in the atmosphere, they can reach the lungs, oxygen can reach lungs through the trachea. In the lungs, the partial pressure of oxygen get into decrease, guys, it is 104 mmHg. This is the oxygen, they can reach blood, the partial pressure of oxygen can decrease into the blood, which is 95 mmHg. This blood, they can carry the oxygen into the tissue, the oxygen in the tissue level, which is tissue, they can utilize the oxygen and they can use for the metabolic activity, they can release the energy, they can oxygen act as a fuel, like the tissue, they can utilize the oxygen to break the food particle and release the energy in the form of ATP. In this condition, the oxygen, the partial pressure mostly decrease in the tissue, which is 40 mmHg in the tissue, oxygen in the tissue 40 mmHg. This is the oxygen partial pressure in different areas in the human body. If come to the carbon dioxide where it is produced, the tissue that can be used the oxygen to break down the food particle and release the carbon dioxide, mean if the glucose break down in the presence of oxygen to release carbon dioxide and ATP. Okay, the carbon dioxide which is produced in the tissue, here the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is 45 mmHg. They can enter into the blood as deoxygenated blood, which is 45 mmHg, here 45 mmHg, and deoxygenated blood also 45 mmHg. Deoxygenated blood, they can reach lungs finally, lungs. So, CO2 in the lungs, the partial pressure of CO2 in the lungs is 40 mmHg, that is decrease in the lungs, CO2 is 40 mmHg. This is about O2, this is about CO2. Here you have to careful the read this question. The partial pressure of in mmHg, the oxygen and carbon dioxide at alveolus, the site of diffusion. First, in the lungs, the site of diffusion is alveolus, guys. This is alveolus. They can reach oxygen into the blood capillary. This is blood capillary. Oxygen enter into the blood capillary and carbon dioxide from the blood capillary, they enter into the alveolus. They inhale the oxygen, exhale the carbon dioxide. So, what happened in this diffusion? Guys, just look into this. Partial pressure of oxygen 40 mmHg and CO2 45 mmHg. No, the partial pressure of oxygen 40 mmHg and CO2 45 mmHg in the tissue, guys, in the tissue, not in the alveolus. Next, the partial pressure of oxygen 95 mmHg and CO2 is 40 mmHg. That is in the oxygenated blood, guys. This is in the oxygenated blood, guys. Oxygenated blood, if they reach this condition is applied. Next, the partial pressure of oxygen which is 159 mmHg and CO2 is 0.3. So, this is in the atmosphere, guys. Atmosphere where oxygen produced which is 159 mmHg. In the atmosphere, carbon dioxide 0.03 mmHg. Yeah, fourth option, guys, the partial pressure of oxygen is 104 mmHg, the carbon dioxide is 40 mmHg. This is what in the lungs. This is what the answer, guys. The answer is here, fourth one. D is the answer. Okay? Yeah, very easy question, which is partial pressure transport of oxygen. In the chapter respiration. This is the question coming from the gases exchange. The first site of gas exchange, which is alveolar sac and alveolar sac and blood vessel. The process is called diffusion. Yeah. Next question. Okay. Next question here. The favorable condition required for the oxygen formation for the oxyhemoglobin. For the oxyhemoglobin, just look into this. Yeah, select the favorable conditions. For required for the formation of oxyhemoglobin. Hemoglobin plus oxygen, oxyhemoglobin. What are the favorable conditions? Favorable conditions are what? We will discuss about it. Okay? Just look into this. Guys, oxygen carry through the RBCs. In the RBC, there is a pigment called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin has 4 chains, 2 alpha chains, 2 beta chains. The head part of hemoglobin, they can carry oxygen. So 4 chains, they can carry the 4 oxygen molecules. Mean each chain has catch 1 oxygen to carry the 4 oxygen molecules into the tissue. Finally, they can reach the tissue, they can release the tissue. Oxygen release into the tissue, guys. This is happen. So, where there is a partial pressure is high, the oxyhemoglobin bonding is high. So, low partial pressure of oxygen, high partial pressure of CO2. So, low partial pressure, they cannot catch the oxygen here. This is wrong statement. Just look into this, guys. Okay. oxygen from the atmosphere, oxygen can reach lungs, oxygen reach lungs. From the lungs alveoli, oxygen can finally reach blood. So, from the blood they can reach the blood cell which is hemoglobin. Oxygen can reach hemoglobin to bind the hemoglobin where partial pressure is high. In the lungs the partial pressure of oxygen 104 mmHg. This is high partial pressure. Because of this they can binding with oxygen, hemoglobin binding with oxygen. So, high partial pressure in the lungs must be there guys for the bonding of hemoglobin with oxygen, high partial pressure of oxygen, but high CO2. In the lungs CO2 is low. In the lungs where oxygen diffuse into blood and bond with hemoglobin, the partial pressure of oxygen is high. Partial pressure of oxygen is high and partial pressure of CO2 is low. This is the condition. So, here look here guys, partial pressure of oxygen is high but less H ion. No, temperature H ions are high in the tissue, not in the lungs. Okay, where there is a oxygen and carbon dioxide attached, there is a concentration of hydrogen is high. Okay, yeah, low PO2, this is absolute wrong. High PO2 and low CO2 and less hydrogen ion and lower temperature. This is the answer guys. Fourth one is answer. Okay, yes. I hope you clear this question. Thank you. Next question. Yeah. Which of the following is characters incorrect in the respect to the cockroach digestive system, especially hypopharynx is lies within the cavity of enclosed by mouth. Of course, hypopharynx they are enclosed with mouth. This is right answer absolutely. The females 7th and 9th sterna together to form genital pouch. Of course, female genital pouch is located at 7th, 8th, 9th segments. Yeah, this is fine. This is the right answer. Absolutely right answer. The 10th abdominal segment in both sexes bear anal cerci. This is also correct guys. Okay? Yeah. The ring of gastric caeca is present in the junction of midgut and hindgut. This is wrong answer guys. Okay? We will look into this. Just look into this. This is the digestive system of cockroach. Mouth. Mouth, after mouth there is a esophagus. After esophagus guys, look into this. This is the crop storage part of and after crop this is the gizzard. This is about foregut. Okay. Yeah. Next midgut, guys. This is about midgut without chitinous membrane. We call it is midgut. Midgut is site for the absorption, which is the grind, which is the like food. They can grinder here in the gizzard. They can mix. They can food is breakage. They can absorption in the midgut. Midgut is like small intestine in the human. After that, hindgut. After that, this is hindgut, guys. Rectum, anus, hindgut. So here hepatic CK. Hepatic CK means it is like a liver, guys. They can release some secretions. That is, CK is located where? Here. Hepatic CK located between the foregut and midgut. There are 6 to 8. 6 to 8 there is a layers, tubes, we can call hepatic CK. 6 to 8 hepatic CK are there, which is further useful for the food, which is digestion in this foregut and absorption in the midgut. Midgut do not have chitinous membrane. Do not have chitinous membrane. Midgut do not have chitinous membrane. That is why it is the site for the absorption. Between the midgut and hindgut, there are tubes, guys. These tubes are 100 to 150 tubes. We can call Malpighian tubes. They can secrete the uric acid. So this is the cockroach is uricotelic species, like animal. Guys, this is the digestive system. So the ring of gastric CK present at the junction of the midgut hindgut. No, that is the junction of the foregut and midgut, hepatic CK. Midgut and hindgut, there is a Malpighian tubes, guys. This is the right answer. Okay. So this is the wrong answer. Okay. Here. Next question. Which of the following statement is wrongly statement in the nature of smooth muscle? Smooth muscle. Guys, the smooth muscle are what? Yeah. They are involuntary muscles. Of course, smooth muscles are involuntary muscles. Okay. Smooth muscles are looking like this, one nucleus, non-striated, smooth muscle. They are involuntary. They are involuntary in nature. First one is right. Second one is communication among the cells are performed by intercalated discs. Intercalated discs. This is the wrong answer, guys. Intercalated discs are there in the cardiac muscle. Intercalated discs are there in the cardiac muscle, not in the smooth muscle. This is the cardiac muscle, guys. Junction, cardiac muscle junction branched. There are intercalated discs are there between the junctions. In the cardiac muscle are there. Okay, this is intercalated disc, and these muscles are present in the wall of blood vessels. Of course, smooth muscles are present in the wall of blood vessel, present in the wall of blood vessel. That is why these are the involuntary muscles. These muscles have no striations. Of course, there is no striations. The skeletal muscles are also striated. Okay, their striations are there in the skeletal muscle, not in the smooth muscle. So answer is B here. The answer is B. Okay. Next question. In spite the interspecific competition in nature, which mechanism the species might have evolved for their survival? Okay. Here just read carefully, this question is thoda hard. The mechanism of competing species, the in spite of, this is the word is important here, in spite of interspecific competition in nature, in spite of interspecific competition in nature, there are other competition. In spite of interspecific competition mean not within the same target, same resources, there is a other one. Which mechanism is the competing species might have evolved for their survival? Competitive release, this is intercompetitive species. Of course, that is not exact. They did ask in spite of. Mutualism also, that is intercompetition only. Mutualism, parasitism. Okay. Predation also intercompetition. The resource partitioning, this is the answer. It is not about intercompetition, but the resource partitioning is they can go some other area, other resources. Okay, they can partition from the same resources into the other resources. They can survive easily. That is not intercompetition, guys. Okay, this is the answer. D1 is the answer. Amensalism can be represented as, this is also population interaction. These are the population interactions, organisms and population questions. So amensalism means one can be affected and one cannot be benefited. This D. D, the species A can be affected negatively, the species B, they do not get any benefit. This is the amensalism. Okay? Yes. Next one. Yes. Which amount of nutrients such as carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus and calcium present in the soil at any given reference as? Where it is to find the all elements, climax community, no, climax community is they can describe other like resources, guys, like there is a new species evolve. Standing state is the right answer, not in the climax and standing graph. This is the standing state, guys. Direct question. Okay? Understanding level question. This is understanding level. If you understand the hierarchy of the ecological system, you can easily crack this question, guys. Yes. Which of the following statement is not correct? Not correct. Okay? What is this? The pyramid of biomass in sea is generally upright. Of course, that is correct. The pyramid of energy is always upright. Of course, the energy will be consumption. Okay, the final stage, if they reach the climax area, the energy will decrease. Of course, upright. The pyramid of number grassland ecosystem is upright. This is wrong. Grassland, which is base area is high, guys. Base area is high. Okay, it is decreased into the upward. grass, herbivores, carnivores, and these are the omnivores. Guys, this number is decreasing, so it is not upright. So third one is wrong answer, guys. Grassland ecosystem is not upright. This is the wrong answer. Pyramid of biomass C is generally inverted. Of course, biomass pyramid is generally inverted. Yeah, this is, you look into this, big fishes, biomass is high. Biomass mean the weight of species in the pyramid of generally inverted, where C big fishes is high, right? Big fishes just look into this, fishes big, fishes small, zooplanktons, phytoplanktons, so biomass is decreasing from up to down, right? That is why it is inverted. So final statement is correct. Statement C is wrong, guys. Okay. Yeah, next question. Yes, here just look into this. Yeah, it is match the following questions. Directly what you know, the metamerism is like annelids, metamerism annelids. Canal system, obviously it is porifera. Comb plates is direct question from the TNO4. Nidoblast is coelentrates. Very easy question, direct question, very easy question, guys. This is also animal kingdom. Easy question, guys. Which of the following is organism hollow pneumatic bones? Here birds are what? Yeah, Hemidactylis, it is not bird. Neopron, it is not bird. Marcoporus, it is not bird. This is the birds, guys. Ornithology, the study of birds is the ornithology. Just look into this, ornithorhynchus. So ornith mean it is relevant to the bird, guys. Okay. Yes. Here this is also animal kingdom, guys. Just look into this. Limulus is the living fossil. Living fossil. Okay. Acylostoma, it is hookworms. They can, the parasite, they can, by the hooks they can like attach the host, guys. Okay. Yeah. Picelia and Pinctida. Picelia is Portuguese man of war. Portuguese man of war. Pinctada, it is peer, guys. Very simple question from Animal Kingdom 1. Okay. This is from the arthropod, that it asks from the arthropod, molluscans and echinoderms. Yeah, this is the question. Yes. Succus entericus is referred as intestinal juice. It is the direct question. Very easy, direct question. Sphincter of Oddi is present at. Sphincter of Oddi is the junction of hepatopancreatic and duodenum. Is small intestine. This is the hepatopancreatic duct. Okay, where it is stomach and small intestine, where it is attached. This is the sphincter, guys. From the liver there is a duct, and from the pancreas there is a duct enter into this sphincter. Okay, very easy question. A is the answer. Okay. Yeah. Which enzyme is responsible for conversion of fibrinogen into fibrin? This is fibrinogen. Fibrinogen is inactive form. Fibrinogen is inactive form into the fibrin. Fibrin, it is used for the blood clotting. Blood clotting. So fibrinogen converted into the fibrin, there is a prothrombin converted into the thrombin. This is the thrombin act as catalyst to fibrinogen converted into the fibrin. So thrombin is the answer here. Thrombin is the answer, guys. Next, the person with AB blood group are called as universal recipient is due to the blood groups are AB, O. Okay, AB blood group, this is RBC. In the RBC of AB blood group, plasma, in the RBC surfaces there is a antigens AB is there, guys. Above the RBC surfaces there is a antigen AB is there, but in the plasma there is no antibodies. In the plasma, no antibodies. No antibodies in the plasma for A and B blood group. So for A and B there is no antibodies, mean no against for the A and B for the blood clotting. Because of this, it is the universal recipient. Just look into this. Absence of antigen in the plasma, no. There is a antibodies, absence of antibodies. The presence of antibodies, anti-A, anti in the RBCs, no. Presence of antigens, not antibodies. The absence of antibodies, anti-A and anti-B in the plasma, this is the right answer. Okay, third one is the right answer. Next. Yes, chronic autoimmune disorder affecting neuromuscular junction leading to fatigue, weakness and paralysis of the skeletal muscle. Guys, if come to the arthritis, this is the inflammation of like junctions, bones. Gout is the uric acid effect. Muscular dystrophy is the genetical disorder. Myasthenia gravis, it is the like neuromuscular junction, that can be autoimmune disorder. Autoimmune disorder. Muscular dystrophy is the autoimmune disorder that can be affect the junction of the neuromuscular junction of the motor neuron. Motor unit called neuromuscular junction, that can be affected. So answer is B. Here look into that. Erythropoietin is the hormone which is stimulate RBCs formation produced by where? In the kidney. This is juxtaglomerular cells of the kidney. Kidney is the endocrine activity. They can release hormone erythropoietin. They can encourage the production of RBCs. Next question. Yeah. Receptors in the sperm mammals on. Guys, there is a zona pellucida receptors. They can identify the human sperm for the fertilization. There is a receptor, specific receptor for the fertilization. The sites are the zona pellucida, which is around the secondary oocyte. There is a layer, non-cellular layer. Okay, non-cellular layer has ZP3 receptors. They can recognize human sperm This is the important question, guys. Innovative, very innovative question. Okay. Yeah, next. Yeah, vasectomy, tubectomy. Tubectomy is removal of fallopian tube. Vasectomy means removal of vas deferens. Valves are the entry of sperm through the cervix as blocked with valves. That is the artificial method. IUDs is the phagocytic of the sperm in the uterus. This is very simple question from the reproductive health. Yeah, Dobson units are used measured further. That is ozone. Ozone is the gas which is high dense. Okay, the density of ozone measured by the measurements is the units called Dobson units. Very simple question. And this is structural organization question, guys. Identify the cell junctions that help to stop leakage of substances across the tissue, facilitation of communication with neighboring cells via rapid transfer of ions and molecules. Guys, this is about the epithelial tissue where they can supposed to be tight junctions and gap junctions. Epithelial tissue, guys, this is the answer. Okay, there is no other tissue in the boundaries of the cells, guys. Yes. Next, this is also locomotion and movement skeletal system, easy question. Like vertebral column, just look into this. Cranium is the fibrous joints, they cannot move. Sternum is the flat bone. Vertebral column is the cartilage joints, and scapula always triangle. Very simple question, guys. Yeah. Here, human reproduction, which one of the following is not an important component for initiation of parturition? Initiation of parturition. Synthesis of prostaglandins, yeah, of course, that is, they can encourage the parturition. And release of oxytocin, of course, the oxytocin in the during the pregnancy, delivery, that will be help for the delivery. So, release of prolactin, this is the answer, guys. This cannot be encouraged the parturition, this can be encouraged for the lactation. Encourage for the lactation. Okay, increase the estrogen progesterone, of course, this is answer. This is the C is the answer, guys. Evolution. Yeah, match the following: adaptive radiation, convergent evolution, divergent evolution, and evolution by anthropogenic action. Adaptive radiation, obviously it is Darwin Finch's. Anthropogenic actions, Yeah, there are certain pesticides they can use. This is the anthropogenic actions humans can destroy. Convergent evolution and divergent evolution. Birds' wings, butterfly, the wings of butterflies, they origin differently but work is same for the flying. So wings of butterfly and birds are the convergent evolution, guys. Bones of forelimbs and man's and whale. Guys, whale forelimbs and man forelimbs are same origin but function is different, that is divergent evolution. This is divergent evolution. Convergent evolution is the wings of butterfly and birds, homologous and analogous. Okay, this is important for the exam, guys, from the evolution chapter. Yeah, look into this. Accession and region. A person goes high altitude, experiences sickness, the symptoms like breathing and difficulty of heart. Guys, if you go high altitude, the pressure in the gases very low, mean the molecules are very long in nature in the gas. So in this condition, the partial pressure of oxygen is very low. In this condition, oxygen plus hemoglobin binding, oxyhemoglobin is low. So due to the oxygen, lack of oxygen, the person, it is getting the trouble to breathe, that is high altitude sickness. So this is the right answer, guys. First one is right answer. The person who goes high altitude experiences altitude sickness and symptoms like breathing difficulty and heart palpitations. Yeah, second, due to the low atmospheric pressure, high altitude, the body does not get sufficient oxygen. Yeah, of course, right. Both are right. R is the right explanation for the A. This is absolutely innovative question and analytical question. Yeah. Yeah, guys, today it is over. Yeah, today the paper is over. We will go into the next paper for tomorrow. Thank you.